I would probably say how it was mentioned earlier, like the unique path you can take within the physio major. It just you can gear it towards your interests and like what you like. I would probably say my favorite physio class has been Physio 465, which is neurophysiology. Um, I just like anything that has to do with like the brain and like the spinal cord. So like that was just an easy class for me to pick. But the professor is really, really nice. His name is Dr. Fugelband. Just like sweet professor. He makes a class. It's a hard class, but like he makes it manageable. And yeah, the topic's really interesting. Yeah, just a really, really fun class. So you all should just, if you do decide to do the physio major, check it out. It's really fun.
Yeah, I would say my favorite physio class was the cardiology class. It's Physio 485. Yeah. And the professor that teaches this is Dr. Cohen, and she also teaches another class, which is the immunity class. And she's also part of the College of Medicine. She also teaches at the College of Medicine, so it was really nice just to see like how she teaches and how like she's involved in multiple things.
So I would agree that some of my favorite part of physio is the electives because they're really fun and cool. And my favorite one by far was exercise physiology, specifically the lab was like the most fun class ever. And Dr. Keen, who teaches it, is really awesome. And I actually ended up doing my honors thesis with him because I loved the class so much and picked an exercise physiology topic. But basically in that class, you like run on the treadmill, like measure your oxygen consumption, all this like just fun stuff that you wouldn't think would get you 3 credits in a class, like, cause it's just fun. So that was definitely like the most fun class. And I was happy that I was able to also continue with him doing my honors thesis because all the faculty are just so supportive of whatever you want to do.
I would say, for sure, I agree. The electives are really awesome and they're really like tailored to a specific facet in medicine. But I would say my most favorite class was actually Physio Connects, which this is kind of unique to specifically the physio major. I remember my advisor told me it's like a once a week, like 2-unit class, and I wanted to just get ahead on units, like, and so she was like, "Oh, you should do this class." And I didn't know anything about it. And basically, it's a whole class to develop actual like real life skills, and you like get that. That's how I got a lot of opportunities, and that's how a lot of kids get opportunities. You get panels come in, and like, for example, there was one is like physio careers, all like different. So like a FBI person came in, like a zoo person that does like zoo animal stuff. I don't know. And like you get to hear about real people in the community come in and discuss, or like, and you work on like your resume, your personal statement, like you practice interviews. You also, I met some of like my best friends because honestly, physio is the major I would say that has the most community because it's so small. But in those classes, you get like pods kind of, and you get to like talk with your peers. And it was really nice because it's different grades and like it's cool to meet older kids that help guide you and kind of like be your mentors. And I feel like that class was super like honestly like a really pivotal point in my college experience because that's how I kind of like opened the door for all these opportunities because U of A is super connected. So you might as well start early. And that's like a super simple, easy, like literally such a fun class. It's not, it doesn't feel like a class. It feels like you're going to hang out with like your friends and then getting opportunities. So that was like really awesome for me.
Emily, did you also do the second part of that class?
I didn't do B, but because a lot of I ended up being a GFL preceptor for Rankin. I'm really close with Rankin for like one of her other classes, current topics. But there is a part 2, which is also super helpful. Basically, part 1 is like learning how to like speak and like do all these activities and meet people, and then part 2 is like, oh, in part 1 they give you all these opportunities, and part 2 is like you chose an opportunity and you get to like talk about it, and it's kind of like using everything you did in part 1 to like apply. Like my roommate actually right in the other room, she's in B right now, and I always hear her like doing all these different things. I think she's a GFL for it, and people like have their whole like curriculum vitae done and like their personal statement, and it's just like she's applying to medical school and stuff right now, and she literally was like, it saved me so much time. And it's cool because you get actual professors and kids who GFLs, your group leaders, are like kids who either already have done that class or are really successful, and like they look at your stuff, they give you feedback, and it's basically getting credits and units and meeting people for something you're already going to have to do. Either you do it alone or you do it with support. So, and that's only with physio, I believe. I've never heard of any other major having that, and I am in other majors and I've never heard of anything like that. So that's definitely my favorite part.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique class series, especially for like a science, heavy major like ours, where I think, like I said earlier, people kind of imagine that all they're going to have the opportunity to do is be in these really tough like lab sciences the whole time. So that series is really great because, like we talked about at the very beginning, a lot of people who are in this major are going into helping professions and different careers where you really do need all of those other skills and those engagement experiences to be well-rounded. And so that 395 series is really awesome. Like you said, it kind of helps you get those experiences in part one. And then in part two, like after you've had an engagement or an internship or something, it helps you reflect on it. And how do you then apply that experience to apply to the next thing that you want to do? So yeah, I agree. It's really an awesome opportunity that our major offers.